Handball robs Saints of possible points. Welcome back to Where the Saints Talk with myself, Luke, and today we've got Alex, Joe, Nick, and Elliot talking all things Southampton. Oh, Elliot, let's get straight to it. Was it handball for Norwich's goal?
Yeah, of course it was. Even the Norwich Twitter admin posted a picture of the goal scorer with his Player of the Match award with the caption, "Have handed him." So even they acknowledged it. So yeah, it's just another indictment of the sorry state of Championship officiating, isn't it?
Yeah. And Alex, was you fuming when you saw that goal go in? I mean, how they've not seen it? You can see that the way the ball spins, it clearly hits his hand.
Yeah, it's one of those frustrating ones. The game just felt like it was going to be one of those days. As soon as Armstrong missed his penalty, Sienza had hit the bar. Yeah, it just started to feel like it wasn't going our way. And Carrow Road was kind of it was in rage the whole game because of the referee. And it turned out that he was actually favouring them more than us in the end. So that's just how it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's numerous decisions that didn't go Saints' way, but there was one, Joe, that did go Saints' way. But unfortunately, Armstrong, he couldn't convert it, could he? He's not had a good ratio with penalties lately.
No, he hasn't. But the issue is it's all well and good saying to replace him, but who do we replace him with? Because unfortunately, he is, I think, probably the best striker of the ball that we have to score penalties. It's just he's just got such a shocking goal ratio from them. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? That happens in football. So you just dust off and move on, really.
Yeah, he has obviously scored plenty in his career. Today, it's just obviously lately it hasn't obviously been going his way too much. It was a frustrating game though, Nick, wasn't it? I mean, the form obviously Saints has been in has been remarkable. So it's one of them games that you sort of have to go, right, okay, you're not going to win them all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want to quickly say on the refereeing, I'd rather have this loss than have VAR in the Championship. So, as you know, these things happen, but let's keep VAR out of this league. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked a lot before in the predictions about how this was a potential trap game for Saints. Third game in a week, it's very difficult to win all three. Would have been nice to draw, but a couple decisions don't go our way, a couple chances don't get taken. Referee doesn't see a handball, and it is what it is.
Yeah. I think the main thing to look at now is the response, because this new group, you call it a new group under Ecker, they haven't had to come from adversity that often yet. This is kind of the first time to go, right, have they got the character to respond? And that's the main thing, Elliot, isn't it? To see the response from a loss.
Yeah, because we saw, didn't we, after the last loss against Millwall, we immediately bounced back. Was it the home game versus
Birmingham at home?
Yeah. So we immediately bounced back. I know Birmingham are terrible on the road, but I think we did play some electric football in that first half. It's just, you have to look at the bigger picture. 6 out of 8 wins. We would have bitten your hand off for that. When we still had Will Steele, and we had that depressing home loss to Preston, and 0-0 against Swansea despite battering them for 70 minutes. We would have bitten your hand off for 6 out of 8 wins. That's the important thing. It's easy to lose perspective because suddenly the expectation changes, doesn't it? When you start playing well, you're expecting, okay, we should win this. Norwich are not, they're second bottom. However, they've turned a new corner under Philippe Clement. So, it wasn't as easy of a game as it looked on paper. And on a different day, that free kick from Sienza hit the bar, that goes in. Armstrong converts his penalty, and suddenly it's 2-0 at half time, and it's a completely different game. So, yeah, you have to look at the bigger picture, and it's easy to forget to do that as a football fan sometimes.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The expectation changes, doesn't it? The more run you go on of winning games, suddenly you go, the playoffs are in touching distance now, and it's them types of things. So yeah, expectations does change, but like to win the amount of games under Eckert so far has been remarkable. Definitely would have taken that beforehand. So yeah, you're definitely right, Alex. Something that doesn't seem right at the moment, and it seems Alex has got. He obviously didn't want that question.
He was like, "Yeah,
he had enough of that."
Gone well at the moment, and something that doesn't seem right is the goalkeeping position. It's something that doesn't seem to be clicking. What were you expecting? What do you think, Joe? Does there need to be a replacement?
Yeah, I think the problem we every single season we always seem
Joe,
to
you
talk
might be
about.
on mute, mate.
Oh, sorry. No, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, all good?
Yeah.
Something that's not seeming right at the moment, though, Alex, is the goalkeeping position. What do you think? Does there need to be a replacement there?
Yeah, in January that's kind of the prime position I'd be looking at replacing. I don't think Alex McCarthy's a kind of player to come in, given Echo wants to build up from the back, and I think you kind of have to sacrifice having a player who can pass it around like Bazunu, knowing that you're going to get a few chances where it just goes underneath him. That's a bit harsh, but yeah, it's nearly 5 goals he's conceded from expected goals for the opposition this season, more than he should have conceded. And it was 12 last time we were in the Championship. So there's clearly a trend. He's the bottom for most of the stats for keepers in the Championship. And I think last season we kind of thought we'd turn the corner and we'd got Aaron Ramsdale in. And despite having an awful season, we had a keeper capable of making big saves. I don't think we have a keeper who's got a big presence, who can make saves in the moment. I don't think that's Bazunu at all. And I'm sure he's a great guy, but I think it's time to get someone new in.
What would you like, Joe? Would you like more of a goalkeeper that commands his area, commands his box, has a bit of leadership in that area?
Yeah, it would just be nice to have a goalkeeper that when the ball comes in, he actually jumps for it and catches the bloody thing. Because it just seems that he flaps at thin air and it just bobbles over the line every single time. I think we've had such an issue with the goalkeeping position for many years. This isn't the first time we're talking about it, and it won't be the last. I would like to see someone new come in. The only player that I could think of that would probably suit us would be his name escapes me. The bloke Bayern Peretz, his name is. I think he's on loan at Hamburg. He's not really getting a look in, and he's German, so it fills the quota of signing German players still. And he's very good with his feet. He likes to command his area, but he can also play out from the back when it's needed. So that would be my top pick, to be honest with you. And we were linked with him in the summer as well.
Okay. Saints do like a Bundesliga player. Elliot, I know you feel strongly about this, mate. What do you think needs to happen?
Yeah, I've actually been one of Gavin's biggest defenders for a long time. I really, really thought he would come good eventually. Ever since we signed him, 3 years ago now. But I've lost my patience with him. I think the biggest problem is I think the defenders in front of him don't feel confident, and I think they're almost trying to overcompensate for his lack of shot stopping. And I was just looking back at the save percentages. The last time we were in the Championship, he was second bottom for save percentages, 62%. And this season, he's rock bottom. That's not. We were playoff side, chasing automatic promotion, and we somehow had the worst keeper in the league. And I really thought he would come good, and I was always defending him. But he just, as the boys have said, he flaps at thin air when he tries to claim balls. The players don't feel confident in front of him, and I think he's holding us back. I really do. I think you can't mount a serious promotion charge with a keeper as weak as Bazunu, regrettably. So. Yeah, if we're serious about getting promoted this season, and we need to be because our parachute payments run out after this season, then we need to be shopping in January, I think. It's probably not possible to get Ramsdale back from Newcastle. So it's probably going to be a lone job, because I think we're not going to have. We've got McCarthy, Bazunu, and then we signed George Long in the summer.
Long.
Yeah, we're going to have too many keepers on the books, so it's probably going to be a lone job. But if we're serious about getting promoted this season, we need a new keeper, because he just, I think he makes the whole team worse, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a shame that Saints couldn't keep a hold of Ramsdale, because he could have had a really strong season in the Championship. He's gone to Newcastle, hasn't really worked out for him. He's obviously had a lot of competition there, so yeah, maybe obviously he might start getting even more games. Now he's picked up a few appearances lately, but yeah, it's definitely an area that seems to be an issue, and all Saints fans think they might need a new goalkeeper. Yeah, so that's a bit of the doom and gloom out of the way. Obviously, before that, there was a win. There was a win against West Brom, and quite a comfortable win, really, Nick.
Yeah, though it got a little nervy at the end. We kind of have this theme under Tonda Eckert of blowing teams away in the first half, and then all of a sudden it's squeaky bum time at the end. So it's still first half incredible. I mean, Saints kind of looked electric again. I don't really know what Ryan Mason was thinking setting up West Brom the way he did, because Saints absolutely tore them apart for 45 minutes. And I think you saw Philippe Clement at Carrow Road set his team up a lot differently with a lot more success. But once again, West Brom come back in the second half, a couple goals that seemed preventable, especially the West Brom seconds off the corner. There's a theme coming in here where Saints don't do well defending their 6-yard area, even with 3 center backs. Aerially, they seem very weak. Part of that is Gavin Bazunu. I think he doesn't come and claim crosses very well. So there's a bit of a theme coming in here where Saints start off strong and then concede a couple goals, and I agree with what the rest have said. Maybe it's Bazunu, maybe it's the defenders, but they're not going to mount a serious automatic promotion charge if they keep leaking goals like they have been.
Yeah, definitely. That seems to be an area that people keep picking up on. Well, something that obviously is apparent going into the next game is against Coventry. They love scoring goals, so it's definitely going to be something that Saints need to look at to try and keep the ball out of the net. Alex, we'll go to you first, please, mate. What are we expecting from the game, and what is your score predictions?
Yeah, Coventry are on a bit of a poor run, so it's probably a good time to play them if there is a good time. Yeah, they're a fairly attacking team. I mean, they've got so much talent. I think they've got 4 players who've scored double digits this season so far, something like that. My one kind of hope and how I think it will go is that Frank Lampard isn't going to adapt too much to Saints, and that can work in our favour. It can also go against us because they could just tear us apart. So yeah, it kind of depends. Is it going to be like the game against West Brom, or is it going to be against Norwich, but with better opposition? So I'm hoping that they try and play their way, and Saints Tonda Eckert can kind of blow them out of the park, but we'll see. If I go for a score prediction, I'll go 2-1 Saints. I just that slight feeling that they're not going to set up how they maybe should.
Okay, I like that. I like that optimism. Yeah, definitely. Joe, I'm going to throw the same question to you, please, mate. What are we expecting from the game?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing really else I can add from what Alex expertly already said. But as Alex said, if they come and try and play their way and we can just pick them off at nobody's business. The only thing that I'm slightly concerned about is that we always seem to be that team that gives another team a good positive end to their bad run of form. I'm going to be positive again, and I'm going to go 2-1 Saints. It's Christmas. Have some Christmas positivity.
I love it. Love it. If there's going to be a time in the year to be optimistic, it's definitely now. Love that. Right, we're now on to our A to Z feature, and we're flying through them. We're now up to the letter J. So, Elliot, it's to you, please, mate. Who or what is your letter J for Southampton?
We were struggling with this one before we started the podcast because we could think of plenty of first name J's like Jay Rodriguez, James Ward-Prowse, James Beattie, but to have a second name J, I had to do a bit of digging. I remember a player called Alex Yankovic. He came, I think he was an academy product, or maybe we signed him when he was very young, but he came through our academy nonetheless. He was very promising, a very promising Swiss midfielder. He was finally handed his debut against Manchester United away, and proceeded to get sent off. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Bruno Fernandes. He absolutely rammed into his ankle with a high boot and nearly took him out. And this was 79 seconds into the game, and then we proceeded to get beat 9-0 for the second time.
For the second time in consecutive years.
For the second time in our history under the same manager. He's going to be remembered for all of the wrong reasons, unfortunately. And ever since that game, he was never really seen or heard from again.
I think he was sold in the summer of the year after, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Joe said before we hit record that he's now at some random Swiss team. So yeah, tells you all you need to know, I think. But unfortunately, the letter J is not too much of a positive one this week. But no, I think it's quite an iconic one.
Yeah, definitely memorable. Just like you say, all for the wrong reasons, unfortunately. Right, we are now finishing on tweet of the week, and it's probably one of the first negative tweets I've seen about Tom de Recker for a long time, anyway. And it is from a Saints fan. Can you ask him to stop putting the players to sleep at half time, please? I think what he's alluded to is the poor second half performances of a few games. Nick, what are you thinking? Is there an issue going into the second half of games?
Yeah, before I talk about that, Jamal Musiala, Jay, Southampton product, people forget, but he was at Saints.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about him, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's second half. Sorry, a little bit of a tangent. Yeah, I mean, it is an issue, and we talked last week about kind of the blend of Hasenhüttl and Russell Martin and all these different styles. Under Hasenhüttl, we were doing this high intensity pressing, and everybody got absolutely exhausted by the 60th minute, and then for 20 minutes we just absolutely got battered. And there's a bit of that coming in with Tonda Eckert as well. I'm not sure if I really don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm not in the dressing room. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and see what he's saying to them. But I think part of it is that we've just been absolutely blowing teams away in the first half, and part of it as a footballer, when you're up 3-2, 2 goals, you start to think, okay, this lot are finished. Let's move on. And in the championship, you can never kind of rely on that. So yeah, I would love to see Saints kind of get some more complete 90-minute wins. I think, especially with the way that they're defending, we don't want to kind of turn every game into a basketball game up and down, because we saw against Norwich, we didn't score 4 goals and we lost. So I think a lot of work to be done there for Tonda, especially in the second half, on tightening the ship and trying to get some clean sheets.
Okay, that's very, very eloquently put there, Nick, compared to the tweet. But yeah, I like that. Well done, guys. Thank you, and thank you everybody for watching at home. Please like and subscribe, and please get involved with everything Saints.